We're back. Those of you just joining us, this is 5 and Loaded, the $1,000 GameReplays.org Invitational. This is Game 2. 5 took Game 1 in literally the best game I've seen thus far in HoN, period. Okay? Closest game you'll ever see, probably. And it was just insane. Any thoughts about that game, Cap?
My biggest thought, Loaded 5, don't disappoint in Game 2 and Game 3, all right? You hyped up Game 1. Game 1 was incredible. I loved it. It was beautiful. Just a work of art. But let's just hope that they're like equally fucking epic.
Yeah, it's hard. It's okay.
as this first game. Whoops.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to live up to that, but let's see the band so far. Swiftblade, Hellbringer. He was in last game. He was huge in last game, by the way. Huge initiator. Simply the reason for some win fights. Some. There's got to be a better way to say that. Some victorious team fights. I don't know, but he was there. Slither getting banned. Cursed getting banned. And yeah. And I just said
I'm right now. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Right now I'm just whispering up the.
I hear you chiping away.
The band's picks
okay.
to F2. Yes. Oh really? Is my typing coming up on?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No.
A bit of if I can possibly attempt to summarize what was that last game. Basically, every pushing minus Slither, you could say every pushing hero. Top tier pushing hero, just top tier pick period was picked, and it was almost like an equal. It was just an equal forces fight, equal pushing power, kind of equal DPS. Very late game, it obviously went into the favor of. It went into the favor of 5 because he had Harkins, and it kind of obviously very 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 late game. Everyone typically gets massive armor, and Harkins is kind of a nice change. I'm getting messaged. Okay. So Harkins kind of enabled him to scale a little better late game because, he was just ignoring armor. And armor values obviously go up as your agility stat goes up, as items go up. And he was just pumping damage. Whereas Loaded, they had a lot of physical damage and a lot of minus armor in the form of a Pestilence, but the bonus armor was probably 300+% of whatever minus armor they could come up with. So it was off the wall. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, and you came in late, it'll be up obviously for VOD, so check it out whenever you can. But it was just insane. It was things like they had Plague Rider. They have Plague Rider again now. It's their first pick. They had Plague Rider's armor. They had at the end there they had an Ice Ogre, which we finally established how imbalanced he was. That's another additional +8 armor. They had Frostfield Plate going around, and I think they had more stuff going around as well. So they were barely getting hit for any physical damage at all. They did have Low did have Behemoth on the other side, although so incredibly late into the game as it was, as I'm losing my voice, Behemoth was not able to do that much.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Loaded did have the advantage there with pushing the towers in that early game. They were doing a great job pushing towers, and overall doing a great job grouping up, getting some ganks off. But I would have liked to see, it's just unfortunate, but Behemoth getting a little bit of better initiation. Unfortunately, 5 did a great job warding. Their all around their positioning was very good. They avoided a lot of damage from potential Behemoth ultis and AoE damage just by positioning themselves very well. Defiler also had a great job positioning. She was always around outside of the fights, but close enough to get those ghosts to do great damage. And then on top of that, on top of all the items that she farmed up so quickly, she just became so tanky. And ultimately, the ghost just cleaned up a lot of kills because of it.
Yeah, well, we see again Pestilence from the same team that played last time, Loaded, but you'll notice that there's Demented Shaman, and that might have been the piece of the puzzle that was missing last game, as Demented Shaman's ult is vastly, as far as armor strategies goes, there's almost nothing more important than a Demented Shaman on your team. So if he casts that on the enemy, it's going to lower the armor, I think, eventually by -20. It might even go more, I'm not sure. I haven't
24.
actually read 24.
12, 18, 24.
At 24 level 3. Obviously, if you you add in Pestilence, who more than likely might get a Desolator. Help me out.
Shield breaker.
Shield Breaker.
Gotcha, boss.
You're on it, man. And maybe somebody gets a Demonic Breastplate. Well, that there's nobody really able to get Demonic Breastplate on that team except Warden maybe. But this looks like to be minus armor done right, basically. Although the other team again has Plague, and I'm sure is more than capable of having a Soul Reaper and Corrupted Disciple, more than capable of getting some more bonus armor items. Maybe Vindicator, even getting Astrolabe. I almost said mech, which obviously gives more bonus armor as an aura. So, oh, and the Chronos pick. I was wondering when we were going to see Chronos. Just a massive hard carry. All right. Well, this definitely puts Load in the lead as far as early game goes. If you see their picks, they're definitely early game, mid game team, without a doubt. And almost the opposite. Not very many stuns. You'll notice actually many stuns on Loaded. Hugely lacking in stuns over here from 5. That might be a problem actually when it comes to ganking. They don't have the greatest gank potential at all. So you're going to see almost just probably just counter ganks via TPs and really a huge effort in controlling their lanes without much roaming, I would imagine. Whereas there's tons and tons of gank potential coming from Load. Almost everybody has a stun. Everybody except Chu actually does. And wow, so vastly, this is this is a great change up from last game. Okay, these two lineups are vastly different. They're completely different strategies, different play styles, and it's going to be fun to cast this one. Like the other one wasn't a joy, but this one's going to be a nice change of pace.
Oh yeah, instead of running two push strats with these hard semi carries running around farming up incredibly insane, we got just hopefully Loaded can take it down real early game. It's going to be up to them to dominate the early game. Gimp up the heroes, especially. They're going to have to be careful. Hopefully, Corrupt Disciple, he can't get too farmed, and he can't dominate the mid game as he can sometimes do. But it's really up to these early game heroes. Especially that Magnus Pyromancer lane. Hopefully they can get off some serious kills on whatever lane they're going on and just completely dominate their lane, and which allows them to then start roaming and helping out other lanes as well. So you got some pretty standard lanes. Looks up Loaded probably going to be running a top SGD Sham, which is an incredibly strong lane, of course, between flight and stun, and then of course that heal from Demented Shaman, doing such an incredibly powerful early game skill, doing so much damage if placed correctly. It can just clean up, and then a solo mid Chew on Defiler. Hopefully going to be getting some good levels, and then start just pushing in towers with Ghost, just all around taking on team fights really well. But yeah, Chabby, if you want to go over the players and their heroes, etc.
Alrighty, I always like to do that for these players. Sebuska from left to right, top to bottom is going to be our Corrupted Disciple. Angry Testy on Chronos doing the carry. Tobacco on Soul Reaper. F8 playing the Vindicator. And Blavo on Plague Rider again. On the other team, Chu is of course going to be in mid with Defiler. Warden going to be on Pestilence. Oh, I'm very used to that. Pig on Demented Shaman, Dodo on Magnus, and B-Kid as Pyro. Now, B-Kid is good at these heroes. B-Kid always plays the roamers, typically the somebody with a stun, somebody that has potential to gank. You're going to want to look for a lot of movement from B-Kid in this game. He's going to be, what is that, Brown? He's going to be Brown. Alright, if we can see the lanes. Obviously, you called the lanes. Those lanes were as simple as possible for Loaded. But let's see who they're going to put up top. They're going to put Tobacco. Okay, that's what I expected too. They're going to put the Plague in the... Oh, wait. Why is Chronos top? Alright, okay, I didn't say that actually. They're going to put CD bottom plus who? What's going on right now? This is kind of trippy right now.
Mid. They're possibly going to
dual mid?
A dual mid. Plague Rider's going to be babysitting a Chronos.
You know what they're doing,
middle.
right?
That's going to be crazy.
You know what they're doing? They're addressing the Chew.
They're addressing. That's it.
They're dressing.
They're
the Chew.
addressing
Plague
the
Rider's
Chew.
going to be
There it
keeping
is.
at that Chew so hard, throwing down nukes, and then Chronos is going to be trying to farm up middle as much as humanly possible. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, especially that Corrupt Disciple solo bottom against a dual stun. I mean, Corrupt Disciple's a great carry in solo so incredibly well,
Yeah.
but he just cannot get in range with that Magnus.
Yeah. But if
Ever.
there's anyone